This session is called Better Health, Financial Security, Great Relationships, and Spiritual Freedom. So Ayurveda and yoga teach us that there are 4 pursuits in our lives, and that we can experience wonderful results or painful challenges based on the attention that we give them. If we put conscious attention on these 4 aims, we can experience pleasure and satisfaction through a fit and healthy body with abundant energy. We can build wealth and assets that provide security and freedom for our family. We can find deep purpose and satisfaction through loving, truthful relationships and meaningful service with others. And most importantly, we can remember our true nature as spirit. On the other hand, if we do not put conscious attention on these 4 aims, then we may experience our body becoming weak and overweight, fatigued and pained. Our finances may become a source of stress and slavery and create tension in our family. Our relationships may fill with anxiety and mistrust, and we may be trapped in work that feels tedious or meaningless, while our true nature as spirit remains obscured and forgotten. So what are these 4 aims of life, and how do we put our conscious attention on their fulfillment? The first is kama, bodily health and sensual pleasure. Ayurveda describes 3 key pillars that, in balance, create health and pleasure, and out of balance, disease and pain. And they are food and water, right? Sleep and activity and exercise, and sex, our management of vital energy. And when we want to be healthy and feel good in our body, then we need to be sure we've got these areas covered. And when we're working with clients, our task is to discover their symptoms and what is out of balance in these pillars. So which are the best behaviors that people have in place when they're healthy? And which are the worst behaviors that people have in place when they are unhealthy? Now, those are specific important questions, because if we know these behaviors, then we'll know exactly where to focus when we want to restore our own health. And we'll be clear about the behaviors our clients will need to change to improve their health too. So this table here reflects my personal understanding and experience of the best and worst behaviors for promoting health. In the food and water category, having natural whole foods, an abundance of vegetables and fruits, an abundance of pure water. And in the sleep and activity and exercise category, having an earlier bedtime and having some daily exercise. And then in the sex or management of vital energy category, when the sexual urge is satisfied, when emotions are cleared, when there's some form of daily pranayama, breath work, healthy breathing, as well as some daily meditation. And then in the categories of promoting disease, we have processed foods, sugars and chemicals, dehydrating drinks, later bedtime, infrequent exercise, times when the sexual urge is unsatisfied, unmanaged, emotions are repressed. If there's no awareness of breath, no stillness of mind, then all of these things are things that are promoting disease. The next aim, the next purpose that's described is ARTHA, which is wealth, business, and assets. So ARTHA refers to wealth. And when we're interested in financial security and freedom for ourselves and our family, we give conscious time and attention to building our business and our investment skills. And this is because these skills help us build assets that provide for us financially. And money is the primary form of exchange for the food and the shelter and the energy we need. In fact, these things are really where the wealth is. And if we could build food, shelter, and energy security, our financial security needs would be greatly lessened as well. So business and investment skills give us assets that generate money, which give us the food, shelter, and energy that we need. Dharma is the truthful relationships and meaningful service. And the first question I ask here is, how much responsibility are we willing to take for our lives? Can we recognize the places in our lives where we hand over our power to others or to situations and circumstances? So this is something that I've come to understand as an actual practice and commitment to Dharma. Speak 100% truth, right? Practicing honesty with myself and others and speaking 100% of my truth, even or especially when it's inconvenient or unpopular. And then taking 100% responsibility for my truth and unpacking blame, unpacking judgment, to see where in that I've given away my power and then persecuted others. So if my energy is freed up from playing the victim, rescuing others, or blaming and judging, I can find power and confidence in myself and provide truly meaningful service by helping others do the same. The final aim is moksha, going home. Now, we can't hang the weight of our life on physical health. It will pass. And we can't hang the weight of our life on money and wealth. It really can't save us. We can't hang the weight of our life on relationships, because that's a lot of weight for any relationship. So in some sense, it seems we need to experience some ability and even some mastery in our health, wealth, and relationships before we can be sincere in our spiritual seeking. Life is where we learn our lessons by facing and overcoming our obstacles. But when we have enough success in our lives' endeavors, and we learn to create and experience health, wealth, human love, and intimacy, we may find that even though it's wonderful, these things do not fulfill us completely. And then moksha is the ultimate, really inescapable return journey home. And this final aim of life can bring an immensely joyful approach to the other aims, because as we realize that the context for the pursuit of health, wealth, and love is our own spiritual growth and our freedom, then we can let go of some of the resistance and we can welcome the lessons. So when it comes to coaching in the four aims of life, it just so happens that the modern coaching and consulting profession has increasingly organized itself around these aims of life. In fact, the three mega niche areas where most of the money is made and most of the coaching products and services are focused are in health, wealth, and relationships. And arguably, there are more than a few wealthy and powerful competing interests in the spirituality category. So as Ayurvedic practitioners and yoga therapists, most of our services and focus will probably be in the health mega niche. But there's value in realizing that we're a part of a much broader and rapidly growing industry of successful coaching and consulting professionals. So what's going on here? When do people hire coaches? Well, people hire coaches when it's important to them to produce a different result. It's becoming much more common and acceptable for people to invest in education and professional coaching when they want to change something in their life. So you invested in this program and coaching because it's important to you to create a different or new result with your practice. And I personally always like to be working with a coach or mentor in at least one of these areas. I know that education and coaching is consistently one of the best investments I can make, with high return and a tremendous power to create real and lasting change. So let me ask you, are there areas of your life that are stuck or breaking down? Any areas you've been avoiding or feeling powerless around. Well, if there are, then think about hiring a coach or finding a mentor who can give you a structure to invest in and to focus on those areas. You'll put your conscious attention on them, you'll be held accountable to taking new actions, and you'll get new results. So, how can we put conscious attention on the 4 aims of life so that we create and experience better health, financial security, great relationships, and ultimately greater spiritual freedom in our lives? Well, I'd like to share these 5 powerful steps and questions that you can use for yourself and to support and empower your clients as well. The first is, identify which areas of your life really need the attention. And one of the great ways to find this is just to ask, where do you feel powerless or resent, blame, or judge others? And then name the problems. Really, what are they? And then what other issues are they causing? Right? So what problems are is the problem causing? And then what problems is that causing? Go as deep down that path as you can until you've really gotten the full impact of the problems. And then name the desired outcomes. What's your 100% truth about your ultimate, big vision, your desired outcome in this area of your life? And what other benefits would you get from that? Right? So the same thing with the problem, do that with the benefits as well. What benefits would you get from the problem being solved and getting that new outcome? What other benefits would that create? What other benefits would those benefits create? Really follow it so you can, again, get the full possibility and the full opportunity there. And the next, take responsibility. So what are the behaviors you are choosing that are causing the challenges? Right? That's important. You need to have personal responsibility for it. Anything that, again, has been handed out to another person, to a situation, to a circumstance, that you have given away that power and you have then no ability to actually change it. So take responsibility. What are the behaviors you are choosing that are causing these challenges? And then finally, claim that power. What are the new behaviors you will take to get the desired outcome? And in some cases, this may include getting education or hiring a coach in that specific area. So it's time to take action. If you're ready for better health, financial security, great relationships, and spiritual freedom, find the Create Your Ideal Schedule exercise in the Homework Files area. And go ahead and complete Part 1 right now so you can implement what you've just learned and put your conscious attention on the 4 aims of life. And in the next segment, I'll show you how to plug those behaviors into powerful systems so that you can guarantee your own success.